Hey there, this is Dr. Pam Perry. So, you have heard the term that health is wealth. So, it doesn't matter how well you speak. If your health isn't in top shape, you won't feel good. And if you're a little bit on the obese side, I'm going to say that people have a different way they feel about you. And it's like, this person is motivating me to do all these wonderful things, but I can see that they're maybe 50, 60, 70 pounds overweight. So, today we're going to talk about your health. And we're going to be with Coach Angie. She's written a book, and the book is called So You Say You Want to Work Out, but You Don't. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to bring her up right after this. So, you have probably seen a lot of speakers, especially someone like Tony Robbins or even Willie Jolly. And I can even think a lot of speakers, and they spend as much time practicing their craft as well as also working out in the gym because they know that health is wealth. And I know for a fact that there's some speakers that said that once they lost a little bit of weight, that their speaking went through the roof, their speaking engagements. I'll give you a couple, maybe been on the cover of Speakers Magazine. You can say that Dr. Cheryl Wood, even not Dr. yet, but Lisa Nichols. And she basically has shed so many pounds, and people have now said, oh my God. But one of the things that I remember them saying is that when they lost weight, their energy went through the roof. So that could be why maybe their attitude was different. But we're gonna have Angie, Coach Angie, come up and talk about this. There you go, there you go. And just what is the relationship between working out and really doing anything that you put your mind to, especially speaking on a platform, because you're really putting a lot of calories out there, a lot of energy when you're exuding on the platform. So have you seen those that are speakers that maybe that they're a little bit more rotund and versus one that maybe is a little bit more energetic, but they're thinner? So what is the secret sauce? Is it not really the amount of food, but it's the working out part, which is the name of your book. So you say you want to work out, but you don't.
Right. And then don't forget the last part. Why?
Why?
If you say you
Why?
want to do it and you don't, why?
Right.
Uh, I think just the difference is really this is about your health. And as you stated, the speakers who have lost weight, remember losing weight and looking good, the looking good part is the byproduct. But
Mhm.
health is wealth for sure. And that's why they feel so good because they took control of their health
Mhm.
and they lost the pounds, which of course in any realm, like if you have knee problems, if you lose weight, the knee problems are probably gonna
Go
subside.
away. Right.
So it's just really about focusing on your health first. And again, what you look like after is the byproduct and how you feel. I love that you said it went through the roof after they lost weight.
Yes. Yes.
They took control of their health.
Yes. And one of the things too, Angie has written a couple of articles in Speakers Magazine. One of the things it talks about keeping your energy up as you travel, if you're a speaker, and you just really talked about really working out when you don't have time. She written some articles like that. But one of the things now is the book. Do you happen to have the book with you to show the book? You have it near you? No? Okay. All right. That's okay. Well, I'll put it up on the screen and I'll share a screen on that. But one of the things I want you to tell people a little bit about your background and how you really got started on this health journey, so to speak.
Thank you. I don't want to thank you. I didn't get a chance to thank you for having me on your platform.
Yeah.
Um, it's a blessing. I am just excited to share my passion. So I started really as a young person. I was an athlete. Had a little bit more weight on me as an athlete. Was body shamed as a young girl. Uh, But that wasn't really the thing that drove me because my mom always uplifted her daughters and told us, oh, they're just jealous of you because you got to, whatever. So that was never the issue. The issue was for me was to, as I aged, was to just eat better,
Mhm.
to be healthier. It really wasn't about aesthetics. It was more about how I felt. How I felt,
Mhm.
I struggled too with IBS. So I wanted to make sure that I did my research to figure out how to get rid of that without medication. And so it was just really a health journey. And yeah, I'll say a little bit of my childhood um, woes, I'll have to say. And so as I went on, it's always been my passion to serve. I am a child of God, and that is really what our mission is down here on this earth, is to serve his people. So I want to please him. I want to serve his people, and his people happen to be women 35 and above because I'm in that age group and I know what happens during this time. A lot of things happen. Our parents age, our children age. We just have a lot
Mhm.
of different focuses in our lives, and as women, we focus a lot on the outer world and never ourselves. So
Yes.
I began to teach my clients to prioritize themselves in their lives. Part of the book, uh, you say you want to work out, but you don't. Why? Is to search for that why and the what.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Mhm. And I like to too, I wanna bring this up too, that the
I mean, the
book
want,
is a
not
whole
the what. I'm sorry, the want. I'm sorry.
yeah, I wanna bring up too, Angie, that it is a holistic book, meaning that it's not just about, "Oh, okay, these are the calisthenics you do," or "This is
Correct.
a Zumba,"
Hmm. Correct.
these are the how many calories it's not a
Yeah.
diet book, it's not
Right.
it's really holistic that really one of the key things that you always talk about is
Yes.
revolutionizing
Yes.
your mind,
Yes.
and that is
Yes.
one of the key things that you talk about more so,
Mhm.
it's the why, like, what is it going on in your mindset? And so I have the book up here from Amazon right now that,
Mhm.
they can get.
Mhm.
It says, "You say you want to work out, but you don't. Why?" The thing that I like about this particular book, and you've been on the health, journey, and full disclosure, she's been my Zumba instructor and also my health coach, and sometimes a little bit like, "Okay, you need to eat better. You need to do these kinda
Yeah.
things." So,
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
needs a coach, and so the
Yeah.
thing that I like is that you wrote this book. It has scriptures in it, and it has a spiritual aspect to it, Christian aspect to it. But you also the book came because of a post that went viral. So kind of tell us
Yes.
about the genesis of how that book came about.
Well, again, because I'm so passionate about what I do, I one day I just got kind of salty um, because sometimes you come across people who don't take their health seriously, and for me, it just makes me sad. So one day I was thinking, Lord, what can I do? What kind of pill can I create to make these women be serious about their health? And so I created a post and I put the alien uh, filter on and I just said it. I said, you say you want to work out, but you don't. Why? And then people were just like, oh my God, I feel attacked. You're talking to me. Well, and I was like, okay, that's the title of my because
Mhm.
people are touched by it. And even my sister was like, yeah, I saw your post. And I was like, yeah, why don't I work out? Um, it's always in the why. Your success is always trying to, making sure that you figure out the why and the what, if the want. If you say you want to do it, why aren't you doing it?
And what is the
Um,
main reason why people say that they don't? I know for a lot of women that have a lot of things going, they probably say it's time.
yeah, yeah, I'm hot, y'all. I'm sorry. Uh, I am shining brightly. I told her. Typically, the reason why is
And that's the
because
book too.
they don't have time. That's the number one excuse that women give is that they don't have time. And so
Mhm.
in return, I say to them, okay, well then tell me what your day looks like. Tell me what your week looks like. And then they tell me. And then I say, well, where are you in that? You're not prioritizing yourself. How can you not prioritize yourself in your own life? That's another one that went viral because I did a post about that. Like you have everything going on, the kids, the husband, this and that, and you're not prioritizing you. Where do you fit in all of that?
Right.
How does your health matter in all of that?
And people are saying that, okay, well, it's not a priority because there's other things that are more important. Because if I don't get to the grocery store, if I don't cook the meal, my people will starve, or, at the home. Or so what do you tell people then? They say, well, I don't have time. I
Mhm,
don't like working out. It's not fun.
mhm,
I don't have the money. That's what are some of
mhm.
the excuses of like what people are saying to you?
Well, those are all of the things that people say to me, especially I don't have time, I don't have the money, I hate working out. And that's what the book is about. It's a blueprint to give people with excuses every way that I could possibly think of to kill the excuses.
Yes.
Because, to your point, if I don't go to the grocery store, my family don't get fed. Where if you're laid up in a hospital somewhere because you're not paying attention to your health, your family can't get
Well,
fed anyway, or they're going to do what they need to do. So you have
mhm.
to do what you need to do for you. We all here, we all know about the oxygen mask in the airplane, right? You
Yes.
do it,
Put it
you
on
put it
first.
yourself first, and then you put it. Yeah, so you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of anyone. It's your body. It's the only one you have. It's the only place we get to live.
So I'm thinking that the book that we have, it's a little bit of a journal, a little bit of a to kind of walk us a little bit about the psyche, because I know you start with the mind and
I
where that
start with the mind.
revolutionize in your mind. So kind of
Mhm.
tell us in spirit, soul, body, right? So
Yeah.
give us a little bit of walkthrough about how you laid it out.
Yeah. So I thought it was very important to come out the gate with the info, with the real meat of it, which is it's not all your fault, right? You do
Mm.
have to start with your mindset. Everybody's not in the same space of mind when it comes to their health. They want to do it really badly. They don't know how to start. They don't know how to say no. So I wanted to come out the gate with some answers for them. You have to start with your mind. You have to be honest with yourself. And then you have to understand that we have that limbic part of the brain that keeps us in habit mode.
Right.
So there's that part that says, I always stop and get Starbucks on my way to work or from work. So I'm going to do that. And you have to consciously break yourself out of that. So I wanted to give that at just out the door before I gave any other ways of working out. So if you have gym anxiety, then work out at home or go when the gym is not crowded. Um, I just try to
Mhm.
give whatever excuse that a person had. I just tried to smack it in the face and say, let's go, queen, because as long as you have excuses, you will never get to where you need to be, which is optimal health. It
Yes.
is. I just want everybody to know that it is
The most
basically
important.
every day. Every day I'm driven by my passion to empower women over 35, helping them to rediscover their their inner strength and balance
Mhm.
through a
Mhm.
holistic approach with fitness and well-being, because I believe, as Coach Angie, that every woman deserves to feel vibrant, confident, and fulfilled at every stage of their life. And that is what my mission is by writing this book. That is what my passion is for
And
writing
that
this book. I want
and
to
that's
see women vibrant, confident, and fulfilled.
And so when you're speaking and you're speaking on platforms, you're speaking at workshops, you're speaking in churches, that is like your main message to really get people to understand about health and how they can take care of themselves, because you hear a lot now about self-care, self-care. Well, self-care
Mhm.
starts with really understanding that your health is the most important thing. What you put in your
Most
mouth
important.
is very important. If you're going to eat junk food all day, then your body's going to look like junk, right? So if you're going to eat
Yeah.
junk, you're going to look like junk. And so when you're in your 20s, my daughter, she's in her 20s, and so she says, "Oh, mom, I just ran 6 miles," or "Oh, mom, I'm in there lifting weights and this and that."
I
And I
love
think,
it.
I was like, "Okay, you're 20 something years old. You have no kids. You ain't got nothing else to do. You don't even have a dog." And said, so yeah, so but she enjoys it. It's almost like
Yeah.
she's addicted to it because it makes you feel better. So
Mhm.
explain the psychology of working out and how it makes you feel better because someone who's a couch potato, they're like, "Yeah, I'd rather sit on the couch. I think I feel better sitting on the couch." But talk about the endorphins that people will have if they start working out.
Yes, absolutely. So anything that we do that feels good to us will increase those happy hormones, right? Unfortunately, it works on the other side too with the limbic system, right? The limbic system says you like chocolate, so eat chocolate. And this is the time you do it every day. So go ahead and knock that out. But then you have the other side, where when you finally do make that move, and we hear it all the time, when women finally do get to moving and working out, they say, I feel so good because yes, those happy endorphins are flying through the roof. It's giving them just that big jolt of energy. And the thing is, again, the thing I wish I had the pill for is keeping them moving in that direction. That
Yes.
feeling has to be so powerful for them that they just don't stop. And it's just not reality. So I would say be patient with yourself because we're really not. Be patient with the process because it is a process and keep going. That's the secret sauce. Just do it.
Just keep going. There's so many tricks or how do I say it? Ozempic, obviously, ever since
Yeah.
Oprah has
Yeah.
like taken
Mhm.
that, it's been like a game changer for a lot of people. So I've seen people that
Yeah.
is just like, well, I haven't seen you in a few months. You've lost like 30 pounds. It's like, what happened? It's like Ozempic. And so the thing of it is that can take the shot, but you still need to keep moving because that what helps with the heart rate and the
Yeah.
physiology. I believe that's
Yeah.
that's the word because you can't
Mhm.
not I mean, a person who just starves themselves, obviously they will lose weight, but they won't be
Mhm.
healthy. So, and there's so many
Right.
different types of diets that people can go on keto or this and that. And I probably tried all of them because it was just like I did the cabbage soup diet back in the day. I can't
Mhm.
really remember the very first diet I went on, but I will say back in the day, there was a pill, I guess it's maybe similar to Ozempic, I don't know, but it used to be called Dexatrim, and Dexatrim would suppress your appetite. And I
Mhm.
would take that, but then it was just basically it was like caffeine, it just keeps you jittery. And it was like, okay, you just really need to work out. That's really the thing.
Mhm.
And so I became addicted to working out, going to Zumba classes. I personally like doing exercise in a group. It
Dancing. Yeah.
keeps you accountable. That's the kind of
Mhm.
thing. But talk a little bit about you speaking and then seeing other speakers that say, "Hey, I want you to be my coach. I want you to help keep me accountable," because maybe they're traveling. Maybe they're traveling 25 weeks or 30 weeks out of the year. How do you coach someone or how can you coach someone, a woman who's saying, "Hey, I'd love to, prepackage my meals, but I'm eating in restaurants all day because I'm traveling conferences." So how do you coach them? Do you do virtual coaching? Do you send emails? What's the process?
Process is first consultation, whether it's in person or via email or Zoom. I mean,
Mhm.
and I ask several questions that kind of pry into their lives because I need to know where their head is, right? Because we got
Mhm.
to start there,
The
and
revolution.
then where their life, how they're living their lives, whether it's and I need them to be completely honest with me because I can only help you if you're honest with me.
Like a
And then
therapist.
after that, I'll give a complimentary 1 week meal plan and 1 week workout based on what they've told me. So if they don't like meat, then I curtail it to what their lifestyle is.
Mhm.
Then once they hire me, I stay in very close contact with them. If they're traveling, we're doing Zoom and they're doing the workouts in the hotel room. Um, and yeah, and I'll tell them to take little things like resistance bands and stuff like that so that they can be prepared to do things that take them to the next level. Because if they're consistent, then I need to make sure I advance them to the next level of their fitness. And
Mhm.
it works out very well. I mean, 2020 like changed the game for us all with online stuff. So that has helped a lot, even with corporate. I do a lot of corporate events where they want me to be online. And even here, where I live, they don't necessarily want me to come in. They want me to do it virtually. So that's easy to do if a person will just click the button and show their face, and let's talk about what your day looked like. I like to
Mhm.
stay in close contact, and I like for my clients to be completely honest with me so that I can help them.
Yeah, and one of the things you help with the motivation, the inspiration, help them with the
Yes.
mindset, you're helping them with the
Yeah.
meals. Obviously, a lot of the things have to do with what you're eating. And then you
Mhm.
also give people, and you have with me, like sometimes some of the shakes that you could say that you can take, or some
Mhm.
of if you're
Yeah,
going
I
out to
give
eat.
diet, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Um,
And if
I'm
you're
I'm
going
big
out
on
to eat,
juice. I'm big on juicing and telling people to juice,
yes,
as much as they possibly can. Of course, we're not trying to take away solid foods, but juicing
I
your
love
greens, yeah, juicing your greens is very important because it goes straight to your bloodstream and it really is a good pick me up. Um, I know there's a lot of coffee drinkers out there, but I do believe in getting my pick me up from my green juice, but I'm not judging. I want to
mm,
go back to the Ozempic
mhm,
remark that you made because I want people to understand that Ozempic, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, any of that. If you watch the commercial, every one of them have the disclaimer of with a sensible diet and exercise. So
yes,
if you have to do that, then that's what it is, you all. That's what it is. You
that's
don't
the
need
part.
anything extra. You don't need anything extra. You just need to get your mind right, revolutionize your mind, get
Mhm,
honest with yourself, and get going. Because if
mhm,
you can take an injection in the stomach once a month or however long, uh, however, I don't know what the cadence is, but if you can do that and not really know what this drug is going to do to you in the long run, then you can really bog down, take the time, and do what you need to do for your health. So you know what you're putting in your mouth when it's a piece of
pizza,
arugula lettuce. Yeah, you
right.
know that. It's not many things that we can control in this life. I've learned and keep learning every day about that. But the one thing we can is what we put in our mouths and
Mhm,
how much exercise we get, barring that we have no physical limitations. So I say, do it because if you're on Ozempic, you're paying. You are going to be paying. And then
mm.
when you come off, guess what?
Just like with
Diet.
me. In the
Yes,
diets
sensible
go
diet and exercise it is.
yeah, yo-yo diets. You could go up and down, up and down. You
Yeah,
can lose on keto maybe 30 pounds, but then as soon as you get off keto, you gain 60. So it's like, okay, let's do the math on this. And so one
yeah.
of the main things is that people need to understand that working out can be fun. So you can find the best exercise, like you said, based on what their lifestyle is. So if they're doing
Mhm.
resistance bands, or if they're doing small weights, or if they're doing Zumba, if they like to dance, or calisthenics. I mean, it's a basic. Sometimes if you just do planks, right? You
Yeah.
can do a plank if
Sometimes
you
if you just go outside and garden, I have a video of me gardening. That my legs were so sore from staying in the squat position for an hour. It's all as long as you're moving, it's all exercise. You don't
Yes.
you if you're intentional about it, you can just find those things that's your jam. If you like to dance, go dance more.
Mhm,
Take the stairs more when you're at the mall instead of the escalators. Just
mhm.
be intentional about the movement because a lot of people don't like to exercise. Well, don't think of it as exercise. It's about changing your mindset
Mhm,
toward it too, because it is what it is. People, we have to move for the
mm,
rest of our lives. We have to do strength training for the rest of our lives. All of that is important. We begin to lose muscle mass at 30. If we're
mm.
not using it, we're losing it, period.
I heard that
I'm sorry to get so passionate, but I
no,
am super passionate.
no, no, that when people hire you to speak, they're gonna get that passion. So I had heard
Yes,
that the sitting is a new form of smoking.
smoking.
So years
Yeah.
ago, people used to smoke maybe a pack or 2 a day. And they
Mhm.
said, that was bad, and so people don't do it. You very rarely see people smoking because they kinda got it like, "Ah, this is probably not good for me." Obviously, ingesting nicotine and tar and is not good.
Mhm.
But now, so many people sit at their computers all day, maybe 4, 5, 6 hours at
Yeah.
a time, and they said
Mhm.
that's just as bad as smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. that was alarming to me. And I was like, "Oh my god." So what
Mhm.
does someone do who has a desk job and they
Mhm.
are working at their computer all day and, emails are flying, 2 or 300 emails a day.
Mhm.
So what does that person do that is not a speaker that's traveling around and, moving and that kind of thing and up and down on planes, but they're just at a desk all day? What do you suggest for them?
Yeah, that's a good question, Pam. Dr. Pam. Uh, so what I do and what I advise my clients is to schedule 15-minute breaks every hour
Ah,
or
okay.
5 minutes to get up and stretch, to walk
Stretch.
around.
Okay.
If you work from home, get up or set it on your calendar, your Outlook calendar, whatever. Once it goes off, that means it's time to get up and walk
Mhm.
around,
Mhm.
stretch, meditate, but do a movement meditation. That's what I do for me. I make sure that I schedule my time to
Every
walk away from the computer and move.
every
Yep,
every
about
hour.
5 minutes every hour.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
you take those 2 15-minute breaks if that's how it works at your place of employment. Take those 2 15-minute breaks, not just to stand around at the water cooler or whatever, but to actually move and walk around your
Mm.
floor. Um,
Yes.
that's so super important. You have to be
Yeah.
intentional about this thing, period. It's
Yeah.
you just can't be lazy about it.
Yeah, that's one of the things too. If we said that sitting is it, all day at your computer is similar to 2 packs of cigarettes a day the way it used to be, and that's detrimental to your
Mhm.
health, we have a whole generation of people that are going to be unhealthy. Now, they
Yeah.
may work out after work, but you're saying that we should every hour get up because we're in such a sedentary society.
Yeah.
Everybody's just glued to
Mhm.
the computer and to a laptop or a
Yeah.
desktop or whatever. So that's one of the
Mhm.
main things that we have to do. So I
Yeah.
see that if, your link tree there that I have up
Mhm.
there, they go to Linktree, uh,
Mhm.
and then Team Angie Fitness. So what can they find there? Obviously the book they can get there,
Yeah.
but they could
They're
go
gonna
to
find the book. I'm
mhm,
sorry. Did you want to
they could
continue?
yeah, they find the book and what else kind of things are they gonna find there?
They're gonna find the website. They're gonna also find an ebook, a
Okay.
free ebook.
Ah,
I think it's the Revolutionize Your Mind one. If not,
yes, probably.
it's either that or the sweets, the sugar one.
Okay.
Um, yeah. For now, that's what they'll and they may they I can't think right now, but definitely
But
the
if they go
book, the
mhm,
ebook, and the website.
and if they
That's what
go
they
to
can
the
find.
website Yeah, if they go to the
Mhm.
website, they can book you to speak. They can
Yes,
actually hire
yes,
you as a coach. A lot of speakers need help
correct.
with their health. I mean, they know their
Yeah,
topic that they speak on, but they also need help in other areas. And I always say everybody needs a coach in the areas where you're not the
yeah,
most proficient. And so one of
yeah.
the things that the readers are guided through, understanding your fitness psyche, revolutionizing your mind. That's one of the key things that you talk about, your 10-step philosophy on that, crafting and
Mhm.
maintaining sustainable habits, the holistic trio, real life transformation. And let's talk about some of the real life transformations that you've had that have been that I know that I've seen some of the transformations of some of your clients. How many? It's
Well,
not
you're
even
you're one. You're one. I have a
yeah.
before and after of you.
Oh my god, I know, and me and my friend, we were actually, on the cover of, Hub Detroit magazine. It was me,
Mhm.
Sharon, Bianca, I believe we were at your health workout place,
Yeah.
and we were
Mhm.
and we were north of 50, at least me and
Mhm.
Sharon were, and we were working out, and we worked out with you 3 times a week, and that was, like, one of the things, and Bianca, who was, one of your Zumba instructors, was just
Mhm.
leading us, and
Mhm.
she could have been our daughter, but we were keeping up, and you were saying, "Hey, well, just do what you
You
can.
were.
Do what you can," and eventually it was like, we could keep up,
Mm.
and it
Oh, yeah,
was fun.
absolutely.
You made it fun, and sometimes we went
Keep
outside, and you had the things where people were going outside too. I love that as well.
keep in mind, as long as you're moving, like, your endurance is improving. So, if I always say, I probably can run circles around the average 18-year-old just because I'm intentional about my health, right? And
Mhm.
most 18-year-olds are sitting at,
Playing games on their
a
phone.
video
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
computer or on their phone, and they're not getting the physical exercise that they really need. I have to tell you a pet peeve of mine of people who say, "Oh, she's young or he's young, he can eat anything." Absolutely not, because everything we do in our younger years follow us to our older years.
Yes.
And we need to make sure we change that narrative, because as long as we're saying, yes, you can eat all the sugar you want and all, that's why now diabetes are kids. If I don't know if you've seen the commercial, but there's a commercial of like a preteen young boy with a diabetic patch on his arm. So there, I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah, we've never seen that before. We've never seen where they're placing children in these types of commercial. But you know why? Because more and more of them are getting diabetes. And it's because we're saying, oh, he's young, she's young, they can eat what they want. That's not true.
Mm-mm.
I personally would love to change just just the whole narrative and tell pregnant mothers not only be careful about what you eat when they're in your body, but don't take them to fast food restaurants. Don't keep them on a real food diet. So they don't even understand what missing McDonald's is all about.
Right, right.
It's so
Because yeah,
important.
kids early on will just, like, see the McDonald's Golden Archers and just go berserk because they have been trained to like that, the fries and that sort of thing, and real food. And I just know, you know, the generation, my mother and then my grandmother for sure, those things were treats and every once in a while, but
Right.
not a steady diet of that. And that's
Yeah.
what
Um,
we need to get away from if we want health at the towards, in your 40s and 50s and 60s and
yeah.
70s and
30s.
30s. Yeah, even in 30s, because a lot of your health has to do with the energy, and then your energy has to do with how much you accomplish in your life. So you want to, I always say this, it said at the beginning, those that have shed the weight, especially people like Lisa Nichols or even Dr. Cheryl
She
Wood,
looks great.
once
Yeah.
they lost the weight, it was a whole new vibe, not
Yeah.
just how they look, but just a whole new vibe of energy. Even
Mm.
Dr. Cheryl
Yeah.
just talked about how much energy she has to accomplish so much more. And so that's really what the book is about, to really encourage and inspire people to ban the excuses and really revolutionize their mind through your 10-step formula. And then really, if they need help, it's like, I really can't do it, then they contact you. If they really
Yeah.
can, once they get the book and it's like, I tried everything in the book, then that's when the personal accountability comes and you can actually work with them one on one. Or
Yeah.
you
And a
probably
lot
have
of people,
group programs too. So you can't do
yeah.
everybody. I mean, that would don't get so many hours in a week. So you can't do everybody one, but you can do a group program.
Yeah, I'm very particular about the one-on-ones just because I want to make sure that you are very serious about your health because we're going all in.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
because I'm so passionate about it, I want you to be passionate too about your own health. Like, I can't make you do anything. I can't make you want to be healthy. You have to already have that in you and then want to do the work to get to where you need to be. I mean, we cannot do anything in this life without our health. We just can't, you know. And so I wish that people would put that on the front burner instead of the back burner.
Mhm. And a lot of the excuses too, I forgot the other excuses that people will say, and this has always been one of mine. My hair. I can't
Oh,
da 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 d d
oh
I
yeah.
can't work out because of my hair, and so I tell a lot of people, I said, "Well, uh, get a hairstyle that will work so that you can do it, whether it's
Exactly. Braid
braids
that thing up and let's go.
or
Braid it up.
it's a crochet hair, or it's a weave. I mean,
Get you a
I don't want you.
pony.
Yeah, it's,
Get you a pony and let's go.
yeah, it's just like, what is more important? And so that is one of the things too. So you kind of go through in the book all the different things and you talk about the
Mhm.
exercises and things like that that people will do. But I really, really enjoyed talking with you today, Angie, because
I
I
did too.
think
Thank you
people
for having
need,
me.
you're welcome, because people need to hire you to come in and speak at the beginning of their conferences, wherever they need to have someone come in and talk about self-care, taking care of themselves and health, or even towards the, like in the middle. Sometimes you go to
Mhm.
conferences and they're like all day and it's like, oh my God. So maybe you need
Yeah, you
someone
need to
to come
break it
in.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, and break it up. And then maybe you come in and just show you know, bring you in for a conference so that you could do a Zumba class in between the
Yeah.
conference. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
dancing. It's just dancing because
Yeah.
people have to move. I know if I sit at a conference for 3 days, all day, every day, I'm ready to bite somebody because I'm gonna be mad. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I need to do something. And people say, well, I'm gonna go walk or whatever. It's like, no, you probably won't go walk. You probably go walk to get something to eat and then
And
sit
sit
in
down
front
and eat
of
it.
you. Yeah, and so having someone, and I tell people to this all the time, if you're going to have a conference, please incorporate someone like Coach Angie to
Thank you.
enliven and inspire your audience, not just with words, but actually to show them. She could show them some different exercises, whether it's
Mhm.
resistance bands and things like that, or even, planking. The core, you talked about this before, how our core
Mhm.
needs to be the strongest
Mm.
part of us. And so doing
Yeah.
that is is a good thing to do every day. You can't do like, a minute right off
Yeah.
the bat. If you start out with a few seconds and then you can kind of do that. So I
Yeah.
always say, if you're doing a conference, please do not forget the health part, because it doesn't matter how much information you give them about strategies and goals and things like that, but they need to have that health part. And so that's the part, I think, the niche where you really can fit in on that corporate side. You can
Mhm.
obviously do corporate wellness and things like that, but also when women are doing these women conferences, we cannot just say, okay, we're gonna have a donut break. Mm-mm. No, we're gonna have Coach Angie break.
And just like they're coachable uh, with their coaches, right? For their speaking, they need to be coachable on things like their health, because a
Yes.
lot of people have, it's just a really challenging thing to talk to people about when they're not ready,
Hmm.
and they can get defensive about it.
Yeah, they
Um,
can. People are
and I,
very.
and I just, yeah, I would just challenge people to, like you said earlier, think about how you feel at the weight you're at when you get off stage. Are you super tired? Do you want to just get in the bed? Like, how
Yes.
are you feeling? And if you're overweight and if you're undernourished, then that's how you're feeling. So take
Mhm.
heed to that and make some changes
Yeah,
um, right away.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I do have to say this, because we're still in a pandemic. People are still getting COVID, right?
Mhm.
This is it's wreaking havoc on people's health and their respiratory system. And I think people are just feeling like, oh, because it's not how it was in 2020, that it's not that serious. It's very serious. It's very serious. And so knowing that if that happened before, it might be able to happen again, right? So you
Mhm.
want to keep your health optimal, because
Mhm.
nobody saw that coming. Nobody.
Mm-mm.
So
No,
if you get
2020.
caught with your pants down,
Yeah,
what I mean by that
2020. Yeah.
is not in
People.
optimal health, what what will happen to
Right.
you?
Yeah. When
That's
2020
always my thought
started,
process.
when it started in 2020, just I remember going back to that. I was at a Oprah was doing her 2020 vision tour. We have to have 2020 vision. So that was
Yeah.
like the main thing. We were doing this whole thing, and we were like, 2020 is going to be the best year ever, da, 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 this and that. And then that was in January. February, we heard some little things. And then by March, it was like, whoa, okay, but this is
Full
gonna be,
blown.
it's like, oh, it'll go away in a couple of months. And it was just like, no. And people started really looking at how can they build their immune system and that kind of
Yeah.
thing, vitamin D
But
and
then they
zinc.
fell off of that, is what,
Yeah.
because they got comfortable with things coming to, it's a new normal, but it's as close to normal as it's going to get. And they're
Mhm.
not getting as sick anymore and all of that. So people are feeling like, oh, it's the flu. But child, if you have anything underlying that you don't know about, and even if you do know about, you you just want to keep yourself in optimal health. It really shouldn't be where a person needs to beg you to do that. It really shouldn't. But I'm here to serve and beg you to do it, because it's so important to me as a fitness coach. And just again, as a child of God, I am a Christian and I am placed here to serve. And in the way God has me serving right now is to teach women to prioritize themselves in their life and get it together.
Mhm.
Get it
And I always
together.
say this too. This is one of the things when I was younger, when uh I used to be in the choir. I'm not in the choir anymore, but when we were in the choir when we were younger, it was always a big deal right after choir rehearsal to go and eat. And we would eat when we were younger. We would eat so bad. It would be pizza,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It's just like, and so now when I look at the people who are still in the choir, they are still have those same habits. So it really
Mhm.
starts with like really understanding your mind and like how to move from not letting the reward be food all the time.
Yes.
The
Yes.
reward
Thank you
always
for saying
food,
that.
'cause
Yes.
it does not that's not the reward. If it's making you 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight, then that's not the reward anymore, okay? So let's find something
It
else.
never was the reward. It never was the reward
Yeah,
ever.
I mean,
It
like,
never was.
it's like birthday cake. So it's like, oh, and I remember, her name is Shalita. Shalita was says, she was addicted to birthday cake. I'm like, what? She says, no, it was just like that associated with me like happy times. So even when
Okay.
it wasn't her birthday or anybody's birthday, it was like that's what she was addicted to. And it was like it didn't even matter if the cake was good. It just she associated that with happy. So
That's the
happy.
limbic part of the brain. That's exactly what I talk about.
Yes,
And
yes,
you have to be conscious of that to break out of it.
that is
Otherwise, you
it.
will always be quote unquote addicted to birthday cake.
Right, and she is now off of that. She's off of that, and she's really
Yeah.
vegan and da 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 this and that. So she really
Yeah.
just realized that that was a whole mindset shift. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. I want people to know they can
Thank
follow you
you.
on IG on Team Angie,
Team
Coach
Angie Fitness on IG.
on
Team Angie
IG.
Fitness. Yeah, Team Angie Fitness. Be your best you on Facebook, LinkedIn. Team Angie Fitness. It's all Team Angie Fitness on all socials.
Good, good. I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much
Mm.
for joining us today on Speakers Magazine, and
Thank you
then
for
also
having
to
me.
go into her website so you can book her to speak or to actually be a part of your conference as well. So thanks so
I would
much for
love
joining
that.
us
Thank
today.
you.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. Bye, everyone.
All right.
Thank you
Talk
so
to you
much.
later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.